Have you guys been to the UK?
Yeah.
You guys like the UK?
Wetherspoons.
Yeah. So yeah, you like the UK then? Or
Yeah,
I
I
hate
like
the
large
UK.
breakfast.
you like a large break? You like?
I hate the UK.
Wait, why do you hate the UK?
Because it's like a worse version of Australia.
Half my family's from the UK, and I've been there plenty of times. But they're from Liverpool.
Oh, my dad's
okay.
from Liverpool.
Yeah. Who's from Liverpool?
My dad.
Oh, so he's too.
What the fuck?
Wait, is the okay? So
You're Welsh.
So I was born in Wales. I speak Welsh and all that stuff. And my dad was born. In
You speak
Liverpool.
Welsh. That's rare.
Yeah.
That's rare. Okay,
16% of Welsh people speak Welsh.
Yeah.
So not very useful, sadly, in everyday life.
That's a cool party trick, though.
If I want to talk shit with my mum,
Yeah, it's
we
a
speak in Welsh.
Yeah.
So that's helpful. Yeah, I mean, UK's nice, but also it sucks when you come here and you're like, this should have been us.
Yeah.
We should have been this happy.
Yeah, you guys are like
You
so
look at all
much-
these nice buildings everywhere.
It's yeah.
It's not
obviously
fair.
we
Yeah.
share. It's such a very similar culture. Everything is.
You guys are like the UK but happy. Like,
Yeah.
It's not fair.
I love-
It's not
I
fair.
love-
It does feel when I go there, it's like, oh, it's like the buildings got like 5% worse and everything's more wet. And that's,
And twice the price too.
and, that's
Twice
like-
the price.
and the roads and parking is fucked.
Oh yeah, there's not.
You got
Yeah.
That is
the
just
collection that's just rubbish on every street too.
Well, it's it was like fucking London. It was. I mean, the city wasn't built for trash collection or cars.
And then one of my friends took me in the tunnel, and I
Right.
had to stand, and I'm too tall, so I'm like curving in this fucking tiny ass underground claustrophobic train.
Oh, in the
the
underground?
tube, that's it, which is like
Yeah.
150 degrees Celsius.
Well, the first
my
one was
God,
built
yeah.
in like 1800s.
Yeah.
I was with my friend, and she was like, "Oh, we'll take the tube; it'll be quicker." And I get in there, I'm like, "I would have rather 2 more extra minutes in the Uber. I'm dying."
And like some of the lines make you feel like you're about to like derail, you know, like the Central Line. I don't know if you've been on the Central Line, but there is this.
It's so loud as well.
Oh my God! You go on the Central Line and all you can hear is just for like the entire trip, and I'm like, why is this
I'm gonna
part of
die.
like public service? I would rather die.
I don't know if this falls under I made it the fuck up, but I'm pretty sure it's also like heating up, like gradually over time.
Yeah,
'Cause there's no
you guys
way-
had the worst heat wave in
Because there's no,
history
it's like
recently,
hard
yeah.
to get the heat out of the tunnel.
There's like
Yeah.
no ventilation.
Yeah,
Right?
well, there
Yeah.
is ventilation. There's some buildings that are
Fucking
just
drill some holes in it.
well, they have like fake buildings outside,
It's open
and it's
Yeah.
literally just a chimney, like an entire chimney.
Yeah.
It's cool, but
So I wasn't tripping when I said it was 150 degrees. So.
No.
wait. Did you go to Liverpool?
I've been there twice in my life. I hate
Okay.
it.
I did a fan day.
where in the UK have you been? Out of curiosity, both of you?
Liverpool, London. Where's PewDiePie from?
Brighton.
Brighton.
From Sweden.
I mean, yeah, we went
Yeah.
to Brighton. We went somewhere fucking else, and I've been
What do you think of Brighton?
it was a shithole too. No, it was a retirement village. It was a retirement village.
I'm actually born and raised in Brighton.
Oh, really?
You know how that like meme where it's like you go to Mexico and there's got the sepia filter and people are and people are like, that's not really how it is. When you go to the UK, it's like actually there's like a grey filter on everything.
Grayscale
but that's like
filter,
real.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because I remember my first ever experience in Australia. I get off and I like go to the hotel and I'm like, oh shit, this is what the UK could be like with good weather. I was like, oh my God, like my eye just opened. I was like, this is Britain's final potential.
Every building, like all the old buildings, because we have heritage buildings here that can't get touched. I think I was telling you this on the drug tour. They can't be touched, but they're all based off UK buildings that already existed.
Yeah.
So all the
Yeah.
architecture here is very similar,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
Crazy.
better.
And it's such good food here as well.
yeah. You got
You really gotta say that when
good
you guys
coffee.
live in Japan? Like
Oh, the
that's-
coffee's
I'm-
great. Coffee's
yeah.
so good here.
The coffee is just like unreal. in
Love the coffee
Melbourne,
culture here.
especially because like in Japan, it's like if you want good coffee, you just need to fucking take a gamble and
Yeah.
go to like a small coffee shop that like kind of looks fancy.
We got shit on the podcast. We said coffee shit in Japan. There's some good coffee places, but some of the comments are like, I bet they only go to Starbucks. And it's like, no, because
nah.
Japan likes the traditional like kisaten, the traditional cafes with pour over coffee. I don't really like pour over coffee. I just want the fucking espresso.
What's the difference, like in terms of taste?
Well, espresso based drinks you normally can also like turn into like lattes and stuff, but pour over coffee is normally always just
Oh,
like
it's all okay.
yeah. Well, that's like the traditional cafes,
Yeah.
but I prefer like espresso based drinks
Yeah,
anyway,
same,
and
yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's so much nicer. I like lattes as well. I don't like cafe au lait. As they
Yeah.
Do you guys really think that the food here is nice?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's great, but like, as someone that's been to Japan many times and can go
No,
anywhere.
Japan is better.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah, Japan
But like
is
compared to the
Yeah,
UK,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The
okay,
great
yeah.
thing about being a Brit is that if you move outside, everywhere you go, the food is amazing because it's always like an upgrade.
You've experienced the lowest.
I don't know, the one thing I did love about the UK was what night's roast night? Is that Friday night?
Sunday.
Sunday night. Me and Scott one night, because I think you were off having a holiday after we did some filming. Me and Scott like just got drunk one night and went to a random pub. It was great, and they had roast,
Oh, the
$10
roast, so
roast,
good. So
and
good.
we just drinking these beers and eating this roast. I'm like, man, I've had such a shit time until I walked into this pub and I had a roast and a beer.
that's when it all makes sense. Being British, when you're in the
Yeah.
pub and you're eating the pub food, you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
think
I
get
love
it.
pub
Yeah.
culture. That's
Yeah.
like
As
one
long
thing
as you
I
don't go
like.
outside the pub walls, everything's fine.
Yeah, yeah pubs are the best part of the UK.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
the pub culture is the best. Like especially in like even like London, it's great too. You know,
Some would argue it's the
we're-
only culture.
Well, sorry.
Some would argue it's the only.
It is the only culture. We don't have anything else. It's like the rest. The other
queen
culture is
died,
curry.
Ah, yes.
She's your queen too. What do you mean?
I mean, I didn't fucking like spend. My mum cried when that happened. My mum called me like, "The Queen," because my mum's like really British, and she's like, "The Queen's dead. Like, oh, we gotta go over there and we gotta fucking like pay our respects." I'm like, "Mum, fuck you."
That's a good out of context clip.
I think a lot of quotes Chad says.
And
are
I
good
have
clips.
one living grandparent left. It's my mother's grandmother. That's all I got left. And she's like 90 something, and she's like, "Me and your grandma, we're gonna go over. We're gonna pay our respects." I'm like, that bitch cannot get out of bed, let alone get on a plane. What do you think she's gonna die on the way there, mom? Like, she was so committed. Thankfully, they never did it, but like, that's how heart cut she was about it. She was like willing to risk her mother's life on a plane to like go pay their respects. I was like,
in
"Jeez."
Australia, were you taught to be like kind of
Give a fuck
passionate
about the
yeah,
Queen.
kind
Yeah.
of passionate about the Queen?
No.
or-
I don't give a fuck about the Queen.
No, but like in school, they try and teach you.
I think we missed
so.
that part of our life.
Yeah, I
because-
think that might have been a generational thing, possibly.
Yeah, because
Really?
before us, I think there was like a comparison where they were like, this is before we were born, there was like the Queen came to Australia and there was like a massive parade and everything for her.
Yeah.
And then she came again like 20 years later or something like that. And I might have been 15 or 16. And for the parade, there was like 1/100th amount of the people that showed up to like
Jesus.
see her come in on her car and shit like that. Like, no one give a shit.
Yeah, when I was growing up, because we were in Wales, they did not talk about them nicely.
Good.
Really?
And I remember that it was really weird that I used to see on TV and like they'd be so positive about it, but then all the teachers would be like, they fucking suck. They took everything from us. Don't support them. And I was like, this is very mixed messaging. But then immediately after that lesson, they're like, by the way, the Queen's coming to Wales, so we're going to all go outside and wait for her.
Oh, my
I was like, what the fuck?
With stones in our pockets.
I remember we waited. I was like 10, and we waited outside of a church. And I remember being like, "Mom, why am I here? I've been here for 6 hours on the grass, and she hasn't showed up."
We had a similar thing here, but this is
Stood
when
you
people
up.
got trapped in the mine.
Oh,
Yeah. We all got a day off school to see if they'd get these 3 miners out
That's
of the,
oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wait, is this in Australia?
Yeah,
in
so,
Australia?
Yeah, in Australia. So instead of waiting for the Queen, one morning we woke up and Mum was like, "Today's that," because these guys got trapped in the mines for like 2 weeks from a collapse. Like, no school today. We're gonna sit here and watch the TV to see if these 3 guys make it out alive. And I was like, what happens if they die?
We're all watching.
Yeah. And also we got a day off when Steve Irwin died too. We all got to stay home and watch.
yeah.
Watch his
Makes sense.
memorial on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our holidays. I don't know.
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin,
the
trap
Queen.
miners.
Man, I wish you could have lived to be on cold once. Steve Irwin.
You think
would've
he'd
been
come on? You think he'd
amazing.
He would definitely come on. We were gonna get his son on.
I think we're still talking.
We were
about
talking
that.
to his son
Yeah,
about
yeah.
doing something.
So,
At the zoo.
why is he
Bob
coming on?
Irwin.
That'd be
Whatever.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really hard to get to him because you got to go through like all those corporate people.
You're not
and
gonna
they're
get
like,
Bindi?
Nah.
So you're
Robert's
telling me
a legend.
you've got to
Robert is a
go. Wait, you have to go through corporate people, and then you still think you can get him on through corporate people?
we got someone doing it for us. I ain't saying anything. I'll
Oh,
fuck
okay.
up.
We wanted us to go to the zoo or whatever, and
Show you around.
yeah, some shit like that. But then I think at one point they were like, "Oh, he can't make it on this day. Like, do you still want to do it?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we can have him come in for 1 minute of the video and show you an animal." I'm like, "No, we want to sit down with him for an hour
And drink a
Yeah.
beer.
and drink a
Yeah.
beer with
See your
him."
face with them?
Yeah.
We want to feed alcohol to the animals that he brings in.
How many beers can a snake drink?